Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com. This is the chart for the full moon 7th of March 2023 at 12:40 set for the UK GMT. It's a very important full moon. In fact, it's a very important day, full stop. Here is the moon in Virgo, the sun in Pisces. Always at a full moon we get an opposition. And the sun in Pisces is a water sign. It's the last sign of the zodiac. It's very psychic. It's very ephemeral. It's sensitive. And Virgo is earth sign, and opposites always attract. So water signs get on with earth signs. And Virgo and the sun are in the middle of the sign. They're signs. Now, Virgo, the full moon, is all about healing. It's all about health, our diet, self-improvement. It's a really good time to make a commitment, especially since the main news of the whole year is Saturn. You can see it up here in Aquarius at 29. It moves into Pisces, and it does that at 13:35 on the 7th of March. So the commitment that can come from Saturn going now into Pisces for almost 3 years is a very good time to look at your health and your diet, of course. And Virgo is very much, the tidy desk, tidy mind, that phrase that I remember so well from my youth. And it's our energetic and emotional well-being that we're looking at here, because emotional, that's Pisces. It's very, very emotional. So the information that we can gather, because Virgo is all about discrimination. The phrase, it sorts the wheat from the chaff, if you understand that metaphor. It's really good as a sign for reading labels, information, very good for doctors and nurses, and also people like librarians, anyone who sorts things out. Pisces is the intuition. So if you combine that aspect of Virgo research with your intuition, then you're bringing the two energies together. The shadow wisdom. It's really important. Every single sign has shadow wisdom. So the shadow wisdom of Virgo is nothing's ever good enough. It's perfectionism. So perfectionism can also be procrastination because of that reason. Pisces energy, and of course we have Neptune in Pisces. It has been for a long time, like forever, but it's still there. And Mercury is in Pisces too. So we have this intuition, sensitivity. The shadow is going into sacrifice. And what that means is you give, you try and help people, but you don't receive for yourself. And that's something that I give masterclasses on and coaching on. It's a really important thing to understand, is that sacrifice. Now, the important planets also at this full moon, I'll go back to Saturn, but Jupiter, Chiron, Venus, all in Aries, and you can see Venus and Jupiter in the sky at night after the sun has set, and Venus is bright. So if you see these two planets, the brighter one is Venus. Venus is the diamond in the sky, and it's quite rare to see Venus and Jupiter together. Notice Chiron. Chiron is here, CHI, right next to it. So there's this opportunity for all of us to be healing at this time. The Aries energy for Venus is very much the warrioress. And that's the film, that I remember seeing so clearly. The energy of the fierceness of the warrioress fights for a cause. Not for her own benefit, but also fights to win. And the film I've been recommending for my coaching clients at the moment is Chariots of Fire. It's an old film. It's a beautiful film. It's got amazing music, and it's a true story. And it is about two men both competing in the Olympics in Paris 1924, get the date right. And one won't run on a Sunday. He's a real, very religious person. And the other is fighting for, he's Jewish, and he's fighting very much to make his mark. And both of them, their stories are just extraordinary. So they're both wanting to win, but for different reasons. Eric Liddell is fighting for God. He believes he can run, and he's been given this gift by God. So watch it again. See it through that lens of competition, when in its purest state is that true energy of Aries, the warrior. Now I'm looking now at Mars. Here's Mars over here. Now Mars entered Gemini forever, but it actually was last year. And it will finally be leaving Gemini on the 25th of March. And it will then move into Cancer. So it takes a lot of strain off if you've got planets in Gemini, wherever Gemini is in your chart has been given this ultra boost for good or not. And also you can see in this chart, hopefully you can see that dotted red line to the South Node, to the past, governed in turn, Scorpios co-ruled by Mars and Pluto. So there's tension here. It's also the Sun will be meeting Mars in a difficult relationship. You can just time the Sun. It's 1 degree a day, roughly, very roughly. So that's in 4 or 5 days, you'll get that tension. Be careful. Yeah. Mars can cause accidents. That's the problem with Mars. That's what it is. It's about cars and driving and accidents and communication in Gemini. And now Mercury is in Pisces. Mercury in Pisces is very, very creative. It's wonderful, the imagination, for meditation, for writing, for drawing, for doing anything, music, of course, all of those things. And Mercury itself, good relationship to the past, to the South Node. We will have, on the 2nd Mercury of March, Mercury went into Pisces. On the 7th, that you can see, the full moon. Now, Saturn changes sign today into Pisces at 1335. So it is as I said, a very, very powerfully important full moon. It will really be activated as it moves, obviously, through Pisces, and that will take, as I said, almost 3 years. So it's not to get overexcited yet, but also, as I said, Saturn likes commitment. So spiritual, it's the spiritual sign of Pisces. Mastery, putting effort in, putting work in to connect with your higher mind, with your God, goddess, through meditation, through guided meditation, all of those things. And to look back to 1993, for about 3 years, that's when it was last in Pisces. So if you're old enough, of course, what was going on for you back then? It's when I started my journey with Psychology Vision, very much based on A Course in Miracles, and very much about the mind, the higher mind, and the unconscious mind. And I became a trainer. It really captured me, and I happen to have Pisces on my 10th house to do with my career, vocation. All right, so look out for Mars, as I said. Look out for that tension. Positive, notice the positives in this chart. Uranus is exactly trining the moon. Therefore, you can be inspired by ideas that just come out of the blue. That's the nature of Uranus. It always expects the unexpected. Mercury, South Node, ancestral stories, past life stories, all of those things. Okay, what else have we got? Well, you can see the clearest pattern is that Uranus moon. Here, unpredictable, but highly creative. It is the higher mind. We do have Mars in a good relationship to Venus, which is very good. That's the sexes, basically, the masculine, the feminine energies. And the masculine is to do with business, the feminine to do with relationships. So both of those are pointed out here, bringing those two together. We have on the 15th of March, that's when the Sun will join. I mentioned it earlier, but I've actually written it down. That's when the Sun joins Neptune. And then soon after, on the 16th, Venus moves into her sign that she loves of Taurus. That's a very, very lovely thing, lovely being operative word there, to be going on. And we build up on the 19th. Mercury goes into Aries. Mercury's moving fast, right? And then by the 20th, we get the spring equinox, and when the Sun goes into Aries. And soon after, the day after, we will have that Aries new moon. Really powerful stuff. You know, Aries, the pioneer, the fighter, going first. You know, having courage. That's what Jupiter and Venus are encouraging us, all of us, right now. Then we get, by the end of the month, as I said, we get Mars going into Cancer. Mercury, on the 28th, joins Jupiter. That's a really good day. If you want to try the lottery, that's a good day for it. And then we get on the 30th, that's when Venus will be opposite Uranus. So there's a lot of activity at the moment. All elements are here. We've got all the elements, right? However, once we get Pluto into Aquarius, we get more of a balance of air signs as well. Mars is an air sign right now, and this is using communication to build bridges. That's what I'm thinking here. And also to let go of being right. It's something I know I have a fault with, basically, myself. Another thing to end with, Jupiter is moving fast, really fast right now, and it will go into Taurus on the 16th of May. So we don't have a lot of time this year of Jupiter in Aries. It was in Aries last year, but not this year. So that's really good news for all the fixed signs of, you know, obviously Taurus, of Leo, and Scorpio, Aquarius, to have Jupiter, you know, helping you. Jupiter is the great protector, literally, of our Earth. It absorbs those asteroid thingy bobs that can easily, you know, zoom into our orbit and cause a lot of damage. And Jupiter says, come on, bring it on. You know, I can handle it because it's so huge. So notice that. Bring that quality into your life right now. Okay, so more about Saturn later. And Pluto, as I said, goes into Aquarius, but not for very long. It only goes, you know, we're talking months. It's only next year that we'll start to get a full-on Pluto-Aquarius transit. Thank you for watching. Pam Carruthers of Healing Stars.